is, of course, connected to the spinal column. Here is the connection point. And the boundary is the foramen magnum, the big hole at the bottom of the occiput. Once the nervous tissue passes through that foramen, it becomes the spinal cord. Above the foramen is part of what's known as the brain stem. So I just want to give you some of the basic components here of your brain. The largest part, all of this up here, where a lot of the higher function occurs, like memory and thought and vision and hearing and movement of your skeletal muscles, that is the cerebrum. The cerebrum, sometimes called the cerebral hemispheres, because as you can see, they're split down the middle, and there's a right side and a left side. So there's a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere of the cerebrum. And you see that the cerebrum is all folded, okay, onto itself. And those folds and stuff have names, meaning, remember the word sulci from yesterday? A sulci was a kind of narrow groove. So the narrow grooves are the sulci, and then the raised areas, the folds, are called gyri. Gyri. If you were to look in cross-section, I don't have cross-section, it doesn't have it, but if you were to look in cross-section, the outer gyri, the outer layers of the entire cerebrum are all gray matter, and the inner are white matter, opposite of the spinal cord, where you have gray in the center surrounded by white. Here you have gray around the outside surrounding white. Just simply means most of the cell bodies of unmyelinated stuff is around the outside, and most of the myelinated stuff, axons, are around the inside. So, the main parts of the brain, the cerebrum, two hemispheres, right and left, the gyri and the sulci. Here, hanging off the back, this gray thing is another main part of the brain, the cerebellum. Here's your cerebellum. Okay, the cerebellum is very important in the coordination of motor activities, meaning the ability for me to walk from here to the back, front door, back door, is coordinated by this part of the brain. This part of the brain, the cerebrum, initiates the motor command, meaning tells me walk to the front door. This part makes sure that I do it without breaking my leg, falling over, bumping into someone, so on and so forth. That's what the cerebellum does. It coordinates all of our motor activities, and it plays a role in equilibrium and balance, meaning our ability to stand up straight without falling over, or if someone pushes you, you regain your balance. Balance and coordination out of this cerebellum. High human function, cerebrum, movements, speech, so on and so forth. And I just wanted to pull this guy out here since we're talking about it. This is a neat one because it is color-coded, meaning, as you can see, certain areas of gyri are green, dark green, yellow, orange, blue, red, pink, because the brain is organized in such a way that clusters of neurons, which basically is what this tissue is, neurons packed together, work together to perform a specific task. This is where all sensory input coming in through your eye is processed, meaning where you see things. Okay? Everything that you feel, everything that you think about, everything that you see, everything that you hear, all happens in here. Everything you see happens in your brain. It doesn't happen in your eye. It doesn't happen in your ear. Everything that you feel, pain, you feel in the brain. Okay, this is where it all happens. You may think I feel it in my finger. But you don't. You feel it here because this is where interpretation occurs. Only thing your finger did is brought the information to the brain for interpretation. The brain then said, the finger sent me a signal that it's in pain. I now feel pain in my finger. But all that stuff happens here. Here is where vision occurs. The area usually around it is in stored data interpretation, meaning vision, what I'm seeing, that camera, registers here first, and then, being that I've seen this a few times now in class, and I've stored an image of it in my brain, I now take that image coming in, compare it to the stored data that I have about it, and my brain says, oh yeah, that's Sydney's camera. So I now know it. So anytime that image comes in, it's compared to an adjacent area of neurons that tells me what it is. In here is where we have hearing and speech. Okay? Over here, these are our sensory and motor cortices, meaning all sensory data, things that you feel and stuff, registers here in the brain. This is where it registers for all the body. And right next to it is the motor, where all skeletal motor commands come out of here. So sensory data comes in, it's analyzed, compared, and then decisions are made, and the motor area is told how to react to that sensory data. They're right next to one another. I don't know if they have it up there yet, but